Hello, my name is Lily Jasmine Notice, and today I'll be discussing the link between environmental pollutants and the increasing prevalence of allergies. Over the past few decades, allergy rates have increased significantly. While genetics play a role, environmental factors have been identified as a major contributor. Allergies are a public health concern. Research has shown that increasing exposure to environmental pollutants is a major factor in the rising rates of allergies, particularly in children, who are the future of our society. There are a few examples on this slide, but one example I want to highlight is the warmer temperatures that we are experiencing right now in Huntsville. There's an increase in CO2 levels that can extend the pollen seasons, an increase in pollen production, meaning people are exposed to allergens longer and more intensely than usual. Environmental pollutants, including air pollution and chemical exposures, contribute to immune system dysregulation. But what's especially concerning is how they can alter immune responses at a cellular level, shifting the body toward a pro-allergic state. This not only increases the risk of allergies, but also exacerbates existing conditions like asthma, particularly in vulnerable groups such as children, elderly, and those in high exposure communities. And the earlier the exposure to pollutants, it may have long-term health impacts, including chronic allergic diseases. The growing use of synthetic chemicals in everyday products, ranging from food preservatives to household cleaners, is silently shaping our health by disrupting immune function and increasing allergic diseases, especially in children. We need stronger regulations and greater public awareness about what's in the products we use daily. This underscores the need for more rigorous scientific evaluation and regulatory oversight of chemical safety, particularly with respect to early life exposures. In summary, the goal of this study investigates how environmental pollutants contribute to rising allergy rates by disrupting the immune system. It examines the link between pollution and allergic conditions, emphasizing the need for stronger public health policies and preventative measures to reduce exposure and protect an individual's health. In conducting this research, I employed a qualitative approach centered on the review of primary research articles that address various aspects of respiratory allergies. Each article was carefully examined to extract relevant data and thematic elements that align with the focus of my study. Key findings were identified and organized to build a coherent foundation for analysis. To enhance the depth of the research, I also incorporated a biblical framework which provided a faith-based lens through which to consider the ethical implications and broader human impact of the issue. Air pollution has a profound effect on respiratory health, particularly in children. Research shows that pollutants like particulate matter, nitrogen dioxide, and sulfur dioxide don't just irritate the lungs. They actually contribute to the development of chronic conditions like asthma, hay fever, and eczema. Urban environments and industrial areas are particularly high risk due to heavy traffic emissions and poor air quality. What's especially concerning is that the risk begins before birth. Exposure during pregnancy and early infancy can weaken a child's immune system, making them more susceptible to allergic diseases later in their adult life. Immune system dysregulation. Over time, this exposure weakens the immune system's ability to tolerate harmless substances, leading to conditions like allergies, other autoimmune disorders, and respiratory infections. Study shows that pollutants can alter immune cell function, disrupt cytokine signaling, and trigger excessive immune responses, contributing to chronic diseases. Chemical pollutants found in the air, food, and consumer products are significantly impacting our health, particularly by compromising the gut barrier. This increases susceptibility to food allergies and autoimmune conditions. Endocrine disruptors like bisphenol A, commonly found in plastics, have been shown to exacerbate allergic reactions, such as airway inflammation in animal models. Additionally, chemicals in food additives and preservatives can alter our gut microbiota, leading to a higher risk of food allergies. To mitigate these risks, it's important to make conscious choices, such as opting for organic foods, reducing plastic use, and overall minimizing processed food intake. Long-term studies have shown a strong connection between prolonged exposures to air pollution and the development of respiratory allergies, particularly in children. Research indicates that the more pollutants children are exposed to over time, the higher their risk of developing allergic conditions like hay fever. Extended exposure also leads to more missed school days, impacting both their academic performance and their overall well-being. These findings highlight the urgent need for stricter air quality regulations and pollution controls to protect future generations from the harmful effects of environmental pollutants. From a biblical standpoint, God created our bodies as temples, and we're called to honor them by being mindful of what we consume, including the air we breathe. As pollution rises, we must advocate for sustainable practices and public health policies to protect ourselves and others. So, in short, environmental pollutants such as air pollution and chemicals contribute to the rising rates of childhood allergies and health issues. Long-term exposure weakens immune systems and increases the risk of allergic reactions. To safeguard future generations, we need stronger environmental policies and preventive health measures. Individuals can also reduce exposure by making informed choices about the products, food, and environments they engage with. These are my references. Thank you for listening.